really chuffed at that, Simon. He sent me. I asked him how he was getting on with the bench, and I waited a couple of days, and then he came back with it. Well, I always know that it's his wife that sort of replies because he's due to his dyslexia, he's not able to. But he said something about that he'd been offline or something, so I hadn't seen the text.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, he sent me that photo.
That's great. Yeah, I got it. I put it in. I don't know if I sent you the latest Silver Surfers. Did you see
Yeah.
Did you see the intro?
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
Because the bench is on it.
Oh, there we are.
It's well hidden away, but
Yeah.
it's prominent there,
Right.
And I've been working with AI at the moment on animations.
Right.
Hi, Samurai. How you going?
Hi, bud.
Hello, Sam. How we doing?
Okay, so,
Horrible weather.
oh, I know. Really sort of soggy. I've been glad I've been indoors for 3 or 4 hours. I had a rehearsal with the band this afternoon, so
Oh, great.
just not happening. No croquet today.
Yeah.
No, it's not exactly croaky weather.
Yeah. Although I did play on Friday, Saturday. What day is it today? Sunday, Saturday. Yeah, I played up in Mythamar on Saturday. It was quite nice. Shower now and then. But it's mostly it was fine weather.
Well, we had a walk down to the PA yesterday, parked in West Cross, and walked to the PA, and we were dead lucky as we got back to the car, or almost back to the car, it started picking with rain.
Yeah.
I think more or less it's rained ever since. I think it hasn't been far away.
What's up? Is that the Langland Manor behind you, Brisket?
No, that was just a house fire. But I was watching a program this week about I don't know if you saw it, Sam, about the fire bombers.
No.
They were saying about how it all started up in North Wales. And
yeah. Oh, we had a few down here on the go.
Oh, is it to do with second homes and stuff?
Yeah. And they said that the problem is actually worse now than what it was in the 60s, 70s. They never caught anybody for it.
The FWA, isn't it? Free Wales Army.
Back then. One bloke went down for 8 years because he was caught actually posting stuff. He posted stuff which could have potentially been dangerous, but he was the only one who ever went to jail for it. Because they said that all the fires, they were started remotely. So they'd obviously broken into the properties, planted something in there, and it was like on a timer that it went up.
When you said posting, is this pre-posting social media, like as in posting something to the letterbox?
No. This was
recent.
This is back in the 60s and 70s now. So
all right. So what's the posting bit then?
Firebomb
stuff. Yeah, posting stuff in the mail.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And I mean they weren't bombs as such. They weren't posting bombs, but it was stuff to sort of frighten people. I think they just wanted to get people out of Wales and stop inflating the price of property. And
well, it's typical, isn't it? Because once it starts, you get somebody sells a house to a comer, and the comer has friends. He says, "I just bought this house bargain price, half the price of a price in a house in London," and people are really friendly there and everything, So his friend comes along, and his friend tells a friend, and you got 3/4 of the village is just habited maybe 2 weeks of the year, and the pub goes out of business, the post office goes out of business, the local shop goes out of business.
Yeah.
Because when they come, then they got they bring all their own stuff with them, so they don't even go into it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
But
the
then
same
what
thing
are
happening here.
yeah,
We stopped it.
yeah. What I've got to think about is if the person that's selling it, it could be, you know, their parents' home that aren't here anymore,
Yeah,
and a local person may offer a figure, and then some comer will come along and offer 10 grand more. What are
yeah,
they going to do?
exactly.
They're going to sell to the comer, aren't they? So
Hmm.
that's life, I suppose.
Well, it's catch-22, isn't it? That's why you
Hmm.
see now that, way back, maybe 20, 30 years ago, about what people went into as a business. That is now one of the first things people look into as a business and livelihood is property.
Hmm.
Seems to be the thing now, and building up a portfolio. I mean, years ago, it wasn't the norm for people to build up to have 3 or 4 properties, go in, buy them, renovate them, sell them on, or rent them out. Or now it's almost like number one thing, Airbnb it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
It's crazy. I mean, it always amazes me when the people. I know when we bought our first house, when we got married, we bought it 12 months before we got married because we thought we, because of our budget, we'd have to buy something that would need work doing to it,
yeah.
and we ended up buying a house for just under £6,500,
Mhm.
and that was sort of an average price that you could pick up a reasonably tidy house. I'm talking in 1974 we bought it.
Yeah.
And the people that said, "Oh, if I'd have known what the house of price, what was going to happen to the price of houses, I'd have bought 3 of them."
Yeah.
But at the time, you struggled to buy the one.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know,
I always been a bit gutted because when I first came to France, I was offered basically a farm, not a farm, but the farm buildings for something like 25,000 quid,
yeah,
250,000 francs it was. And I thought, well, it's all going to fall to rack and ruin if I have it, so I'm never going to be there. It was when I was still surfing and skateboarding and all that, you know. So
yeah,
I didn't buy it, and that was at La Torche, and it was prime thing. You could sell it now for about 4 million, you know,
yeah,
and make about 5 houses on it, or
yeah,
just
yeah,
renovate it, you know. I saw it the other day, and they'd done exactly that to it, you know.
yeah,
And there were so many places around it you could buy for 4,000 quid, 3,000 quid, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
which didn't need a lot to into them either. And that
yeah,
was in 86, 87.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's amazing. You know, as people say, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We
Well,
all had a crystal.
it's
We
also,
all had a crystal ball. We'd all be millionaires now.
yeah, but if you had the money at the time as well, because
Yeah.
it didn't sound a lot, does it? 6,000 in
Oh
70,
no, no.
six
But
thousand in 74 was a bloody lot, you know?
yeah,
You
exactly.
go out for a
Yeah.
weekend with a fiver. Oh,
That's
no,
yeah,
even a quid.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, definitely.
So it's all, what do you call it?
All relevant.
Relevant. That's the word I was looking for, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look this up here. Any better? That might be better. I'm just having a move around here to see if I can get a better.
I would think,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I normally put my lappy on the coffee table in front of me, and for me to then get comfortable in my chair, I'm half a mile away from it. So I'm trying it. That's a
There
bit
we
better.
are.
no, that's
Yeah.
perfect. It's good. It's a great one. You got a good sound and you got a good, in the frame and everything, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're becoming professional, boys.
Oh, was it you that put up that little post of was it something like a powered surfboard, or was it a little jet ski or something? What is on the Langland site? What about if we had these in Langland?
Oh,
Oh,
that was Chris Gibbon, that was, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right, Chris Ribbon, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know where it was from. But that guy that you put a thing up from the other week, Con, the Welsh guy, doing well in
Patrick, yeah.
Portugal, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Langland Dark. Yeah. He's the new car one, isn't he, you know?
Yeah, I'm just going to say,
He got robbed. And I tell you, I was fuming here, right? He should have got through his seat that he got third, and he should have got at least first, because his last wave was a banging wave, you know, and and I put him down as having 6'2", 6'5".
yeah,
He got a 5 for it, or 5'2" or something, and he was 0.3 of a 0.3 of a point away from going through, you know. I thought he was just robbed, totally. The judging was fucking appalling. And at that point, the judging had been not too bad, but he was always getting underscored, you know. And I was fuming at that.
Yeah.
What were the what were the waves like? Was it a bit choppy or something?
Oh, it was a bit of everything. They had some nice waves, they had some choppy waves, they had onshore, they had offshore. They had a big mix, you know. It's like being, you know, take your pick sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was a lot like the middle of the bay. Langland, you know.
Yeah.
A bit more powerful and a bit steeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did a nice
And Mark seems to be doing well over down in Odyssey.
He got fourth in a contest.
Yeah, fantastic. He's done really well, sort of, because when he went out there, I suppose he went out there on a song, was it? When he went to Oz, because has his dad passed away then?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, Mark went out. Yeah, I can't say too much about it. Mark went out there for to get a bit of freedom with his wife and everything, you know, because he couldn't hang around, he couldn't stick around too much in Mumbles.
Right. Was he married in Mumbles?
No, he wasn't married.
Oh yeah. So, but he's got a family out there.
But he was living down in Cornwall, and he met his wife down in Cornwall. So then he decided there were bigger opportunities and easier to get a place and everything out in Oz. So he went out to Oz and he ended up emigrating, getting his odd permanent, his residence or something like that, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. He's a fucking bloody good carpenter. Have you seen his stuff?
Had he been doing carpentry work before he went out there?
Yeah. He was doing a lot of carpentry work down in Cornwall. He was really well.
Oh, right.
Hey, Kip, all right?
Yeah, sorry guys, been out, just got back.
No, I thought you were going to say you've been eating. Hey, no eating on the program now, mate.
No, I've been told. I've read it, I've seen the word.
Well, actually, I was just getting the sandwich. I think I just got enough time to finish off my sandwich and a cup of Oxo before I tune on. There you are, Chris. We're taking notes from you.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
It's nice to have a regular listener, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? You know, we've got quite a few.
You can't get the staff, can you?
I can understand where he's coming from on it, but you know, this isn't BBC One, though, is it? You know what I mean?
It's not like there's a million viewers.
No. Man, I've got
maybe one day, Con. Yeah.
What?
Maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Hey, Rob, I'm not sure if you were kind of either recommending or ticking something. I saw something pop up which made me go, yeah, maybe. And I think they were, well, Taiko-wise, one of them, the leader of our Taiko group, she's taken on a Taiko weekend to see if enough people are interested. And they're using that St. Maddox Centre as a base for it, you know. But I also noticed like a well-being series of things that were to do with you know, going down and getting the wind and sitting in the sand and a bit of yoga.
Yeah, my daughter does a lot of that. She does these weekend sort of.
Or she does it, or she organises it.
she organises and does it herself. Yeah,
Oh, it might have been that post I saw
Mm.
then, which
yeah,
made me kind of, think, oh, I've never done stuff like that, but sometimes it's good to sort of take stock, step out of your normal thing, and just open up yourself to other possibilities.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah. It's, everybody goes. Oh, they all enjoy it, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't come again. But
She's
Yeah.
become quite popular, isn't she now?
yeah, he's got a few followers, and weekend retreats, if you like that sort of thing, are brilliant. Bit of foraging, bit of swimming, bit of yoga. They
Yeah.
have a sauna that they one of these mobile sauna units. They do a
Yeah.
bit of arty crafty work.
Oh,
Yeah, it was relaxing, get away from it all, chilled
I
out.
was flashing back through. I went to have a break this afternoon when it was raining, and I happened to be in town. We just finished a 3 hour rehearsal with the band in a small studio, and I thought, oh, where should I go? Oh, the observatory down on the marina.
Yeah.
Sat in there. Of course, no Wi-Fi. I couldn't connect, so I just flicked on, went to my old photographs, and usually I'm looking for something. Oh, where is that now? Where is that? So in the end, I just went to the beginning, put it up, and just flicked through. And after a while, a couple of things, I came across all the pictures from your daughter's wedding
Oh yeah.
with the band and
Yeah.
the backdrop. And one thing which raised its head, and I thought, remember I was chasing up because I'd lost a trolley somewhere. I'd lost a truck trolley, and I couldn't remember where it was. I thought, did I leave it behind in that St. Mary's? But the amazing thing was, among all the photographs, in a kind of order, was a band playing, and then the last couple of shots, and I took of my gear, and then there was a shot of all the gear loaded inside my friend's van, because I mean mine was like not at the time, and so it was just a basic empty van with all the gear in it, and on the top of all the gear is my trolley.
So where
So
is
I
it
could have
now then?
eliminated that, so at least it came away from there. But what happened to it afterwards when I got it home, God knows. But at least I could see that when we loaded up to go, there it was on
Yes.
the top of
Where
all
was the next
stuff.
venue then, Sam?
You what?
Where was the next venue?
Oh, well, I used it to truck it into the house. I mean, unless I actually left it, I hardly leave it in the front garden and somebody's sort of having a way. I couldn't remember using it after that, but it happens every now and then when you do things out of a routine. I left a guitar somewhere once, and I couldn't remember, and it was only about 2 or 3 weeks later when I went to use it. I thought, where's that guitar? Where have I last seen it? And I just only put it down to when I'd been up at a friend's house having a bit of a jam, and I'd maybe, while loading things into the van, I'd leant it against a wall or something, and then shut the door and driven away.
Like you left it inside and not outside.
Well, no, I'd left it outside somewhere, so
was.
it went. You know,
Lucky boy.
I did that with, I was doing it, funny enough, I was doing a DJing gig. Someone asked me if I could do it, and it was a friend's wedding or something like that. I said, yeah, sure. So I took along my tape recorder. I did it on tape recorders and CDs. So I was using a tape recorder as mix interlude sort of things. So here's a little bit, mix it in, blah, blah, blah. And it was a two-deck cassette, and in one side, but the recording side, was the stuff I just brought off my mixing desk. That of all the stuff, it was when I was preparing my first CD, Back to Earth, and it had all the original mixes that I'd taken off my 16 track at home in the home studio, and I'd put them first time I put them onto a cassette,
Yeah.
and it was still in there. I forgot taking it out. Take it out. I thought, oh well, I'm not going to take this out. I'll just use one cassette player now, just one side. I won't use the other one. And so then it went on, and a couple of beers and everything, and blah blah. Blah, packed my stuff up, got home, and about I don't know, about a week later, I went upstairs to go and do some recording, and I did the recording. I was doing it on an MD8. And what was it? And disk drive. And I thought, hang on, I wanted to put it on. where's my cassette player? I couldn't find it. Was a Marantz cassette player as well. It was a really good
All
one.
right.
It wasn't, a 10 bob one from Woolworths.
Yeah.
Where is that gone? I couldn't remember where I put it. And then I thought, oh, well, last time I used it was up this place. So I phoned them if they'd found it. No, nobody had seen it, of course.
Yeah.
So that was that. And I never saw it again.
Oh,
But it was like 3 or 4 weeks' work, mix downs and everything, and doing the bumping up and everything to get 64 tracks out of a 16. And so I had to do it all over again. But I ended up with a nicer mix anyway. So, but
Oh.
it would have been nice to just keep that one as the original, as the
Yeah.
original idea.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, I forget I saw somebody's. Oh, that's right. When we played at a festival in Wobley Fields, Wobley Castaway, 2 weeks ago with Tycho, the drumming group, and in the background, well, the other side of the marquee was a DJ mixing area. So they had all the decks laid out there, and somebody had put up a picture of this one guy, in front of the gear. So it was two decks either side, actual decks, record decks, sort of or what were the Rolls Royce ones everybody used? Were they Techniques something 12s something? Every club you worked in, they were the ones that everybody had, and of course there was a CD mixer as well. So you put the CD in, and you can put your hand on the top of the dial, and you can spin it round just like as if you're putting your hand on a record.
Yeah.
So there's this big and a little mixer in the middle. And I wanted to put a little comment to one of the guys to say, hey, where was the cassette player? I didn't see the cassette player anywhere, because we used to have cassettes.
Yeah. It was a lot harder with cassettes, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rewind, fast forward, listen to it. Oh, that's not a bit I want.
For getting it spot on, it was really hard.
I'd only ever use cassettes in that way for if I was putting together. In fact, I used to make up cassettes. I think they call them mixtapes now, don't they?
Yeah.
I'd make up cassettes if I was working in a venue, and the early part of the night, you just got to have some music on just before people come in, and you just get into the real thing. So I used to make up cassettes with about 20, 30 tracks on. So you'd put the cassette to play, and they'd all be there. And then when there's enough people in the club, you'd actually start playing live off your records, or then before it even came to CDs. And I come across every now and then a cassette full of tracks, and you'd always sort of stop, press pause, put the next bit, record, so you didn't have any gaps. But I'd never used them for when I was actually doing a set, or I'm going to play that track off cassette, because it was so much faff to cue it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what I had with the Marantz was pretty good, and I was using like analog and numeric at the same time. So I was recording on analog, but mixing on numeric.
Yeah.
And the best thing was with the MD was it would automatically put pause and number when you you could number the track that you were doing, on a cassette. So when you put your cassette into the car, for example, you could just, like a CD, you could press number 1,
Oh yeah,
number 2, or number 3, which was quite good, got it quite close to where you wanted it to be.
Yeah. Andrew, when did you come back from Dorset? Was it just last weekend or this week?
No. God, I can't remember. No,
Life's a holiday all the time, and if you can tell.
Let's go.
yeah.
For a camping car, boys.
I think it was like the tail end of the week, not this week, the week before.
Before, right? Yeah.
About the Thursday, I think it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Last
That's right. You were
Wednesday or
saying that.
Thursday.
That's right. You were saying that when you were down there, you hired a little runabout car, so leave the van on the site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Biscuit. Of all things I watched last night, was Reading. Swansea playing Reading.
All right.
Did you watch
Yeah.
that? Did you see,
No,
did you see the goal? The goalie kicked the ball out, and there's a striker right in front of him, just smashed it in.
Did they? I haven't seen that.
Swansea won. It was good. It was great.
Right.
It was on Swansea TV. It just came up on my Swans TV, you know.
All right. Yeah.
I'm
I didn't watch it last night.
Say the Swans TV, but it came up on one of the streams. So I thought, oh, I'll have a look at that. It was only about 7 minute highlights, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, got some good players, haven't they? They bloody don't have whack a ball.
Well, it's this week is the worry week now, because there's so much talk about the better players could be going before the start. I'm not exactly sure when the window closes. Because when the transfer window. So, like a lot of people are trying the transfer window to close like a week before the season starts. Well, the season for the Swans starts next Saturday, and you could find now he could pick his team for next Saturday, and some of those players may not be there.
I thought you were there, Bill. I don't know where you were.
So it's a little bit frustrating, but
that sounds a bit like, remember when the Swans were in League One and they were doing well with Tosh as the manager and all that, right? And then all of a sudden they went down to League Two, and all of a sudden they just lost all the top players they had playing for them.
Yeah.
They all went back. They all went back to Division One, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Swans went really downhill from there on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They I think they went down as quicker than they went up. Anyway.
Down quicker, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's funny.
It was all down to finances.
Yeah.
All about the money, boys. All the sports. All
It's
about the
funny.
money.
I used to see that Tosh over a period, because he was quite pally with Joe from Verdi's.
Yeah.
And often I'd see him down there after he'd left the Swans, when he'd gone to Spain. And I think when he'd come home, he'd sometimes come down and they'd catch up. And you know, when he'd be walking, I'd be on my way in and he'd be walking out. And when you see somebody that you know, and you think, oh, well, he's been around Swansea a while. So you go, all right, hello. And you never know, sort of, oh, and he's been around, I've been around. And you feel, oh, shall I not say hello because I'm not in his window? But it feels more awkward not saying hello and just ignoring it as you walk past. It's funny.
Yeah. I think sometimes I see players, new, current and old players that played for Swansea.
Yeah.
And I think if you're tidy, you sort of respect their privacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if they are walking along the prom, possibly with their missus, with the kids or whatever, they don't want every bloke that they walk past. How's it going? It was a hell of a game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So you sort of see them, you give them a nod, and you just carry on walking.
Yeah.
And,
it's like there was a time when, what's his name now? The rugby player, I think he went to France, but he used to often come into Verdi's quite a bit. Did James Hook?
I saw him yesterday down there on the prom. He was on his bike. He was on his bike yesterday.